As I go about my week in the Nashville area, I love to greet people, serve people, engage people. And I find, and I'm sure like you, people are very discouraged about what's going on in our nation. But also, it's more discouraging when you have people say, well, I don't pay any attention. I don't watch the news. I don't get into that kind of stuff. Well, I want to share 5 frightening facts that as you share this with your family and friends, I think you can help turn them to get involved and also to be on the conservative side. Stay with me. Jesus called us to be the salt of the earth. That means we engage and we're supposed to hold back decay. Now, right now, I don't know about you, but I enjoy a good movie. And whether you go to an AMC or whatever it is, or whether you stream it at home, do you know there are 5 great movies during this Lenten season as we approach Easter that have one common theme? One of the movies is called Ordinary Angels. Another one is called One Life. And then there's Song of Freedom. Then there's Cabrini. And then there's The Chosen. And everyone has this theme in really right uppermost. One life makes a difference. They're all inspirational films, and I heartily commend them to you. But do you know right now, in terms of our nation, many people don't want to get involved, they don't care, they don't pay attention, or they just kind of go along with their emotion. They'll say, well, I don't like Trump and Biden, well, I won't vote. And well, you and I have a role, and that means to be an activist. And I want to give you 5 facts, and these can be very helpful. And I'll make it simple. A, B, C, D, E. Take that and this will help you remember. Number 1 is to remember this fact that if in the election we have the re-election of a certain person to the White House, and if Congress, and it's teetering right now, moves in one direction, it'll be one-party rule. That's what we'll have. And you know what that means? Another 4 years of a progressive agenda that is intended to really topple what we have in traditional America. And you got to see this right now. I watched the State of the Union address, and it's a subjective view, but when I watched the man get in that podium there, I thought, is he on performance-enhanced drugs? What's he saying? The untruths, the propaganda. I was shocked. Now you say, well, I don't even pay attention. I don't even watch that. Well, I do it to serve you. But you know what? 4 more years, if somebody is reelected to that, that means they pull off the stops. There's nothing to limit them. They don't have to be reelected, and they can continue on. In other words, somebody in the White House, they are obsessed with power, staying in control. In order to do that, they've got to cater to their progressive base, not just for donations, but do what they want. And so we see that right now. And do you want more and even getting worse, the darkness that has come over this nation? Think of the celebration of LGBTQ agenda. And how about abortion? Glamorized, celebrated. This is cool up until the moment of birth. And what about trans and surgery? Do you know that England, they finally woke up and they said, no more of this. We're not going to allow this. Anybody under 16, we're going to forbid this kind of surgical manipulation. But number 1, talk with people and get into their hearts and say, do you want 4 more years of what we've been experiencing? It's been a disaster. So A, another 4 years. How about B, border? The border is the number 1 issue when the polls are taken all over America. And do you know that just recently, Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he testified and he gave a warning. He said, what's going on the border? He said, I'm warning, we are under a severe threat to our nation. And you know what? He quoted, he said, in the realm of the cartels and with fentanyl alone, there's enough fentanyl we have seized to kill 270 million Americans. That's just that. And think of all the other things and the waste and what we're doing. I'm for immigration, legal immigration. But this open border, it's a threat to our national security. And the man in the White House is not honoring his pledge. All right, so that's border. How about C? Well, celebrating abortion. Now, the man in the White House and his wife They're Catholics. I was raised Catholic. I know what the Bible teaches about the sanctity of life. I know what the Bible teaches about speaking up for those that are unborn. But Jill Biden, what is she doing right now? Well, she's got Christina Aguilera as at her side to play it cool. And they're going about and they're saying, you know that the Republicans, what they want is a federal ban on abortion. That's a lie. That's not true. Kamala Harris is going around and they're trying to scare people. You have reproductive rights, woman's body, my choice, and all of that stuff. Folks, this is dangerous. And it's not merely once in a while because of some abortion, because of a need, a critical situation. It's on demand right up to the moment of birth. Bring it to people's attention. That's what's being pushed. Number 4, what would that be? Well, D. Destroy Israel. We are called to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Talk with people and say, you know who our strongest ally has always been, especially like after 9/11? It's Israel. Who represents democracy in the Middle East? Who's a buffer there? Well, we have individuals that want to what? Exterminate Israel. They put forth a narrative that, you know, we've got to have a 2-state solution and a ceasefire right now. And yeah, you know, what went on with Hamas, that wasn't good. But Chuck Schumer, the most powerful man in the Senate, do you know recently he got up there on the podium and he was berating and tearing down the leader of Israel, Netanyahu? And you know what else he was doing? Saying, we got to have a 2-state solution and what we got to do is we got to have another election, get another person in office. I was shocked when I heard that. That just took place. We need to stand with Israel. Thousands of years, God gave that land. It's a possession. And we need to stand up. We're going to have in Nashville 150 people, leaders coming up, Don Finto and Patricia Heaton, and we're going to celebrate and honor the rabbis and the Jewish people and let them know we're with you. Number 5 is this, E. You say, what's E? This is the one this is you. This affects you. Economy. Do you know that Mr. Biden put forth for 2025 his budget? And you know what it was? He's stating a budget that we should have $7.3 trillion budget. We're 32 trillion in debt right now. We're facing a meltdown and a depression, and he wants to spend money. This is unprecedented. What's that money for? Well, income, redistribution. We've got to have it, diversity, inclusion, and we got to do this. And folks, as a result of racist policies like this, we are jeopardizing our nation. Now, Biden says, well, you know what I want to do? We'll do this, and how we're going to do it? We're going to raise taxes. $2 trillion. That's going to impact you, your family. Look at what rent is now. Try to buy a house. Groceries. I mean, inflation was 1.6 when the previous president was in office. At the end there. Where has it been? And don't be fooled by, well, Bidenomics, we're making progress and all that stuff. You know what it is when you look at your pocketbook. Look at groceries up 17 to 18%. Look at gas prices, what it's been. When Mr. Trump left office, it was 186 here. Now, folks, we have a responsibility here. And so raise taxes too. And if you're involved with the corporate realm, do you know what he wants to do? Listen to this. Raise the corporate tax from 21 to 28%. You say, well, that doesn't impact me. Oh, wait, you want to buy a car? Well, what do you think General Motors and Ford and all of these companies, what they're going to do? With that raise, they're going to turn it around, and you and I, it's going to be passed on to you and me. And so economy up, inflation, worse, collapse. And there are people, they want to collapse the economy. Why? Because they want a socialist government and a socialist operation in this nation. I'll tell you, A, B, C, D, E, review those, get them in your spirit, and then take a stand. The theme of those movies is one life can make a difference. You can make a difference. Let's pray, let's be involved, let's stay informed, and let's involve ourselves by engaging with people and bringing these facts home so that they'll say, man, I think I better get involved. The election's coming. We have a responsibility.
Hey friends, if you felt this video was helpful, make sure you like and subscribe so you get notified once new videos become available. Thanks.